Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Dave's Movie Raves, where I review movies because I want to. And I like movies, so why not review them? I decided I am going to do the entirety of the MCU movies, so I figured why not start with the first one and go in order. So that's what I'm doing. Starting with Iron Man 1 and going all the way to Spider-Man Far From Home. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and talk about this guy, Iron Man. Why? Because he is one of the best heroes of the MCU. He deserves some credit. He started the whole franchise. He started the whole Marvel Universe, or MCU anyways. So, let's dive into the spoiler review for Iron Man 1. Well, not really spoiler because everybody's already seen it, but this is a spoiler review. Movie starts off with Tony Stark being ambushed and kidnapped by the Ten Rings, which is a terrorist organization in Afghanistan. Cuts to 36 hours before he got captured, and it was an award ceremony for him. He was being awarded another award for some shit, and he was off at a casino gambling while this was all going on. His best bud, Colonel James Rhodey, I forget who, played by Terrence Howard. He was the one presenting Tony with the award. Of course, he wasn't there though, so spoiler alert. The big bad Obadiah Stane. He got up and he went ahead and accepted the award for him in his honor. Cracked a couple of jokes, and it cuts back to Tony Stark. Gambling, all that good stuff. Reddy shows up with the award. Tony's really not really giving a shit about it. He's gambling. He ends up giving the award to somebody at the Caesar Palace where everything was going down at. I guess it's a casino as well, but so Rhodey's like, don't be late tomorrow, because he has to go to a weapons presentation in Afghanistan. Well, of course, he's late because he was busy sleeping with a beautiful blonde who in the movie is called Christine Everhart. She's a reporter. Oh yeah, funny part about that next part. Pepper Potts pretty much called her trash because she kind of like escorted her out, and she's like, I do everything and anything Mr. Stark requires, including occasionally taking out the trash. There's a car waiting for you outside to take you wherever you would like to go. And then it cuts to Iron Man downstairs working on a car, just being typical Iron Man, or Tony Stark rather, because he's not Iron Man yet. They talk about a bunch of shit, and then Iron Man skedaddles. He's 3 hours late to getting to the plane. Well, Rhodey's there, waiting for him. He was standing outside the plane for 3 hours as he was waiting for Tony to get there. When Tony got there, he's like, waiting on you now. So, Rhodey's kind of giving him a hard time while they're on the plane about being irresponsible. They get drunk. The next day, or the next scene, it shows them arriving at the military base where they're going to do the weapons presentation somewhere in Afghanistan. I forget the exact location. But so they do the weapons demonstration of the Jericho missile, which is a super powerful missile. Tony says it's a weapon that you only got to fire once, and the bad guys won't even want to come out of their caves. So, sounds good, right? Not for him, because he actually gets blown up with the missile, one of his own Stark Industries missiles. Kind of like a rocket, but a missile, whatever. Grenade, or whatever you want to call it. And that's how he was captured as a prisoner. He wakes up, next thing you know, he wakes up with a car battery and an electromagnet hooked up to him to stop the shrapnel from going into his heart from the explosion. The guy who saved him, his name was Jensen. Pretty much that. the bad guys want them, the Ten Rings organization. They want Tony to build the Jericho missile again for them. He refuses, so they torture him until he agrees to build it for him, which he doesn't really build it for him. What he ends up doing is making his own Iron Man suit, the Mach 1. And he also made a, whatchamacallit, arc reactor, like a very miniaturized one, which comes in very handy later on, once Obadiah steals it from him, but that's further on in the movie. Eventually, Jensen gets killed trying to save Tony Stark's some time, or by buying Stark some time. He was already planning on getting killed though, because his whole family had been murdered beforehand. So that was already a good plan, which was a good plan, kinda, because it also gets Tony on his path to righteousness. Once he gets back to the States, oh, by the way, Tony destroys everything, all the weapons that the bad guys had. He went and like pretty much set everything on fire. Then he flew off or whatever, and crashed a little bit for the ways. Thankfully, Rhodey found him. Because he's been gone for 3 months while this all been going down. Sorry, dry throat. So once Tony gets there, he wants an American cheeseburger, which he gets. Good old Burger King placement right there. And he holds a press conference to announce that he will not be making any more weapons. A lot of people get mad about this, including Obadiah Stane. Because they're a weapons manufacturing company. So after the whole debacle goes down, Obadiah reveals that he knows Tony has a miniaturized arc reactor in his chest. Because they had a big arc reactor powering the entire Stark Industries, which is pretty impressive. I actually wonder if we have the power to do that, and if we do, why aren't we using it? Anyways, so Tony reveals that it happens, that he has it indeed. He doesn't trust Obadiah though. So when he goes home back to to his mansion in California, Malibu, he starts working on his Iron Man suit. There's a whole montage of him, like learning how to fly and all that good shit. One of the scenes, it shows him flying as high as he can, where he starts to ice up though, which comes in handy later on. Somehow he figured out how to fix it. They never revealed how, but that was just with his Mark II armor, I believe. Mark II, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So Stark actually got banned, or actually got locked out of his own company, thanks to Obadiah, which he didn't reveal until they're at a party in Stark's honor, which he didn't get invited to, I figure. Which is actually where Stan Lee makes his cameo as Tony Stark is arriving. He plays Hugh Hefner. Or at least, that's who Tony mistaken him for. Nice little cameo by Stan Lee. Rest in peace, Stan Lee. So Christina Everhart, the chick who he slept with in the beginning of the movie, confronts him because Stark Industries was still providing weapons, even though Tony Stark was like, no, we're not. At the party, him and Pepper danced. It was her birthday, like right before, I forgot to mention, it was her birthday the day he was leaving for Afghanistan, so she bought herself a dress with his money. So it was a gift from Tony. Gorgeous dress. And damn, does she look good in it. Gwyneth Paltrow always looks good, but that's getting into a bit of a long review. Oh yeah. So he finds out that a bunch of terrorists are in Gulmeria, which is where Jensen was from, the guy who saved him. So he builds up in his Iron Man suit, or goes home, gets in his Iron Man suit, and jets all the way there, blows everything up. And then as he's on his way back, two F-150s or two Raptors or whatever they're called, really fast military planes, they see him, so they try attacking him. Tony was trying to do basic evasive murder. He was trying to avoid the planes, pretty much. Avoid getting shot at. Nobody knew what the hell it was, though. They all thought it was a new unmanned technology or whatever. Foreign, what's the word I'm looking? Foreign weaponry or some shit like that. But they called it a bogey, so they sent the Raptors to shoot at Iron Man. Rhodes gives Tony a call. He's like, Stark, what's going on? Did you just send something in to a couple clicks away from you being held captive? He's like, he pretends he's driving the cannon, running down the canyon, making some bullshit excuses up because he's flying. Rhodey Stark tried telling Rhodey what was going on, that he was building the sea, but Rhodey didn't want to know anything about it because Rhodey was kind of skeptical about Tony after he revealed that he wasn't going to be making no more weapons. But once he found out that what Iron Man was, or what Tony was, that he was the man in the suit that they were chasing, he tried protecting his best friend, like a good best friend would do. Iron Man actually accidentally crashes into one of the into one of the planes, and almost gets a guy killed, but thankfully he saves him just in time by pulling the chute for him, which is jammed. So Rhodey still doesn't want to know what Tony Stark is doing, just, for government official sakes. That way, if he's asked what Tony's doing, he can be honest and say, I don't know. So he's finally back from Gomera. He's getting unsuited, I guess you can say, desuiting, when Pepper catches him. And she's like, are those bullet holes? So it cuts to a scene where you finally figure out that Obadiah is the bad guy, because he goes back to the camp or whatever, and you're like, well, if you had killed Tony Stark when you're supposed to, you would still have a face. Because Tony Stark fucked one of them up with one of the missiles. Should not be a bad guy. So he steals designs. Obadiah steals designs from the first Iron Man suit from him, from the bad guy, of the terrorist rings, 10 rings. Executes all the guards there, or his guards execute all the bad guys' guards, 10 rings guards, whatever. So it cuts back to Tony talking to Pepper. Pepper's quitting on him because she doesn't want to be part of him getting himself killed, because she cares about him. She doesn't want to see him get killed. So he's like, you stood by my side all these years while I reaped the benefits of mass destruction, mass murder. And he's like, now that I want to do good, you want to just walk out? Then he's like, I shouldn't even be alive, but I am. And out of my heart, I know it's because it's to protect the people, not kill them, pretty much. In a sense, So Pepper's like, okay. So he has her go into Stark Industries, into his office, and find out where the next shipment of the weapons are supposed to be going. She does this, but Obadiah catches her pretty much red-handed. Coulson is there. It was good to see Coulson again. I haven't really watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. much lately, just because once it got into space, I just stopped watching it, which was like season 5 or season 6. But that's a whole another topic. This being a long review. Such a good movie though; it's worth it. So Obi comes by and steals Iron Man's arc reactor, And as Pepper's trying to get away from, I don't know. After Obadiah catches her copying all the manifestations of all the records, he goes to Tony Stark's house, steals his thingamajig from his chest, paralyzes him because he has this machine device that he used on the Ten Rings guy as well that could temporarily paralyze people. So that happened. He wastes like almost 10 minutes of his time, like just pretty much expositioning, being the bad guy. You know, like you think just because you have an idea it makes it yours? What? Yeah, it kind of does. And you're like, what would have happened if your father had been so selfish as you had been? So he literally takes this device that rips it out of his chest. Once the paralysis wears off, he goes down to the back down to his basement or whatever, where he tries to grab his other arc reactor that he had told Pepper to destroy it, but she framed it instead with an inscription that said proof that Tony Stark does have a heart, which I thought was really sweet of her. Again, it comes in handy because that's what that arc reactor he uses to power up another Iron Man suit, and to live again. Rhodey actually finds him though, helps him into his Iron Man suit and stuff. He keeps the skies clear though for Iron Man, so he can take care of Obadiah. A big battle between Obadiah and Stark goes down. Stark nearly dies. He had Pepper blow up that big arc reactor to help kill Stein, Obadiah. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty much the rest of the movie. He goes to a press conference where Coulson's like, "Do not reveal your Iron Man. This is what happened, so and so." But no, Iron Man decided to end it on these most famous, iconic words ever, in my opinion. And he said, "I am Iron Man." And it cuts to credit scenes. Post-credit scenes, it shows Nick Fury approaching Iron Man at his house. "I am Iron Man, eh? You do realize you're not the only hero out there, right?" Yeah. And he recruits him for the Avengers Initiative, which sets up all those rest of the movies. So overall, I give this movie a solid 9.5 out of 10. Such a great movie. I loved it personally. And if you loved this video, please go ahead and give it a like, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you in the Incredible Hulk video. This has been episode 1 of 24 or 23. We shall see.